Hey guys, welcome back to the Comic Book Lowdown. I'm Wellington, bringing you guys my pool week video, my review video for the books of last week. Um, Pretty late just because of work, and then some circumstances that happened on Monday. Because when you'll see this will be Tuesday, so the circumstances that happened on Monday really hindered me from being able to put this video out and finish reading my books. But I just finished them really late at night. It is past midnight, and I gotta go to school tomorrow. And but I'm making the video. Not really tired at all. I took pretty rested right now, and yeah. So I got 4 books to review. Timestamps will be in the description below to fast forward to any review you guys want to hear. And if you're new to my videos, if you're new to these review videos, I review the books from least liked to pick of the week. And in this case, I have 4 books. The 2 middle books are pretty interchangeable because they're both really good and in their own ways, and they're both very different books. So that's why I can't really distinguish which one I would say was better than the other. But the first book and the last book and the pick of the week are definitely in their proper spots. So I guess I'll get the review started with the first book, and that's Batman issue 29. Really cool cover, but $4.99 book on this one. I think it was Nate, possibly Nate or CJ or somebody said that why can't Scott Snyder just fit his story into the pages that are allotted, the like 22-page books, instead of making these extra page books where we then have to pay an extra dollar. And I totally agree. I also want to point out the fact that I have no idea what's happening in Zero Year anymore, because like I said was going to happen with that Batman Eternal issue from issue 28 of Batman, where they did nothing with Zero Year. I'm totally lost. It's been 2 months since I've read Zero Year. I'm totally lost, and not only that, but they had this like 1 month intermission where we got no Zero Year for a month, and then they come back with this issue and get right into the fray of things. And I can't even remember what happened last issue. I mean, I could easily look at it, but that's not the point. The point is that this Zero Year is definitely stalling. This book was supposed to be a very big cinematic book. It's the end to the second arc of this Zero Year. And I could see that it was supposed to be this climactic ending to the arc, but I found myself not really caring or that interested. The writing is good, but it didn't pull me in. The art, I'm always a fan of the art, even though some people are kind of knocking Greg Capullo lately. I'm always a fan of the art. I really like his style. But just the story in it, I was a little bit bored, and that's the problem with that, is that this is supposed to be a very climactic issue. There's a lot of cinematic flow through this, but it wasn't very intriguing. It wasn't very I was just bored. Maybe I was tired at the time, but I found myself having to read some pages and some panels over again because my eyes were getting heavy because I was just bored, which is really bad to say about this book, especially because I've been a fan of Scott Snyder writing this book for a long time, and just lately it's been lackluster. This used to be one of DC's better books, and now it's not even close. Um, there are some good elements in this book, though. I don't want to emphasize just on the bad. The good elements on here that I liked were some of the flashback scenes that they do to Bruce Wayne's parents and that the night that they were murdered. I really like those scenes. Those were well written. Those kept me engaged. I really like how the story flowed in those scenes, and the art, of course, was great, and layout was great. It was a lot of fun. But other than that, the stuff with Dr. Halfrin, the Dr. Death guy, couldn't care less. Um, and even the Riddler was kind of just like, okay, this was supposed to be the Riddler story, really, and he's kind of doing stuff, but I really don't understand what he's doing, and I'm supposed to understand what he's doing by now. That's the feeling I get. So, this issue, this 0 year is turning out to be something else. I might have to read it all together again because it's been a while. I mean, that 2 month break really killed it for me. So maybe I'm being too harsh on it, but those were my initial reactions with that book. Next book, which is very awkward to go from a book that I love the writer on it and I love the book, and now I don't like the book in Batman, to a book that I didn't even want to touch and now I believe is awesome, and that is Superior Spider-Man, issue number 29 as well. They're both at 29 issues. Now this book is carrying a great story, first of all. Just everything that we've seen is just wrapping together. This is so action filled and just emotionally charged, a lot of story in it, and it's just continuing. I don't want to get into details because the details will kind of bog down the review, but we know what's happening. The Green Goblin is not one step, he is 100 steps ahead of Dr. Octavius Spider-Man with everything, and he's 100 steps ahead of everyone else. So not just Spider-Man, but the mayor, J. Jonah Jameson, all of Peter's friends, and, well, except for Mary Jane, he's not really ahead of her, but he's not really going after her either, I don't believe. And yeah, so, I mean, just know that he's one step ahead, or 100 steps ahead of everyone, and it makes for this book to be really interesting, and I love Cameron Coley's art is beautiful in this book, and I love how Dan Slott is writing the Green Goblin. It is perfect. It's very Joker-like, which is cool. There's a lot of things that I would see being in a Batman book, especially this one page in particular. But it's done even better in this. I love the Green Goblin in this. He's one of my favorite villains. Between the Green Goblin and Venom, my favorite villains. And so him being written very well in this book, just awesome. I can't go into more detail without bogging down this review, but Superior Spider-Man issue 29 was amazing. And then the book that was equally as amazing, that I can't distinguish between the two because they're so different, is Superior Foes of Spider-Man, issue number 9. Now, this book is a whole lot of fun. And at the end of last issue, Bullseye appears, trying to kill Fred, Boomerang. And at this point, I'm like, what? Bullseye? This isn't making sense to me. And all that stuff is explained very well, and in a funny way and very quickly. Um, and again, it's funny. Um, this is a great book. It's got a little bit of suspense in it, and um, but for the most part, it's really humorous. Um, and we're following it. We don't really follow uh, Beetle and Speed Demon and Overdrive in this book at all. We're really following Fred and his adventures with Bullseye and what conspires through that, and we follow Shocker and him having the head of Silvio Silvermane and another Spider-Man villain that shows up, and it's pretty funny. And I guess it's not a spoiler, because it's not a huge part of the story, who he is, but what he does is funny. Hydro Man shows up at Shocker's door, and they get into some antics, which is funny. And the whole book is just fun, and to see Fred pull another ruse in this book, as much as I can tell you of what happens in this book, it's really interesting. It's really smart how Nick Spencer is doing it, and Steve Lieber. Well, I mean, both Spencer and Lieber are the storytellers, but Steve Lieber's art is amazing, and Nick Spencer's writing is amazing. So, Superior Foes of Spider-Man, issue number 9, awesome book. And the final book, the book that takes the cake for pick of the week, is the only book that I believe I've ever chosen to be pick of the week that seems like it's celebrating its status at pick of the week, and that's Deadpool, issue number 25. Deadpool looks like he's celebrating being my pick of the week. But this book, kind of wraps up the well, not kind of, it does wrap up the whole Deadpool versus Shield, Gorman deal, and it wraps it up with a lot of humor, and at the same time, underneath the humor and the action is the North Korea stuff. Like, it is very present. It's more present at times in some points than in other points where the humor is taking over, but by the end of this book and what kind of conspires, is just all of that drama that came from the Good, the Bad, the Ugly arc. All of that drama just really hits home, and when you look back at the book, you see that it's there the whole time, and it's just in little snippets, and sometimes they're bigger snippets, and then finally it's hitting you right in the face. But that's what I love about this book. Not a lot of people, but some people have been saying that it's kind of been too jokey and things like that since the Good, the Bad, the Ugly arc. I feel like they're balancing it very well. Some issues are more comical than others, but that's because with this character, you have to have the balance. After that arc, there has to be the balance. Before it was just all comedy. And if you were just going to do that arc and then to have everything drama after it, it wouldn't be the character. So, Posehn and Duggan have definitely found that happy medium between that drama and Deadpool still reeling from what's happened in North Korea and the comedy that's supposed to come with Deadpool. So, a lot of comical moments in here, a lot of moments that make you think like this arc, the last arc, the Good, the Bad, the Ugly arc, is still relevant to what is happening in the book. And that's what I love about this book. It's very well written, had me laughing, had me shocked, and most of all, got me excited. I'm excited to see what's next for Deadpool, and that is pretty much it. So Deadpool 25, pick of the week for me. And that's it for me, guys, for my reviews of last week's books. Haul video coming on Wednesday or Thursday. Hopefully within that time frame. If not, Friday. I don't know if I've gotten a haul video to Saturday yet, but time is a thing. Busy. I'm always busy. Things can always happen, but I usually get to the shop on Wednesday, and I'm gonna have a good haul for that day too. So, looking forward to that. Happy about the books that I read. Besides Batman, I'm kind of disappointed in that. But yeah. So that's it for me, guys. I'm Wellington signing off for the Comic Book Lowdown. I'll see you guys next time.